Hey guys, this is Mike Comanche today from Player One Video Games with episode 20. This is going to be our final episode in the series of all the history of gaming consoles from my perspective and Richard's perspective.
Yep.
And so this is going to be our final episode, and the final system we're going to do is the Wii. Now that it's kind of pushing 20 years old, we're not going to go past that because everybody pretty much was alive even when this one came out. But we did want to include this one because it was in the 360 and the PS3 era, and we did those. So let's go ahead and get into the Wii. Did I buy one at launch?
Did you pre-order one?
Did I pre-order one? What was my thoughts when it came out or before? Well, when the Wii came out, it came out, right after the PS3, right?
It was like a few days.
Kind of like the Xbox and the Cube was,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I had bought the 360 and was absolutely loving it. Nothing was better than that for me. I bought a PS3 just because it was available and it was backwards compatible, so I could still play my stuff.
Go watch your video.
Go
watch the video.
Watch that, and I did like the PS3 a lot because it was just a notch better graphics, and more powerful than the 360. But we got into that already. So let's focus on the Wii. Did I buy one at launch?
Did you buy one at launch, Mike?
HE double toothpicks? No way. Well, no. All right. No, I did not buy one at launch. Why didn't I buy one at launch?
Probably because you couldn't get a hold of one.
That is probably partly it. I remember Tim telling me I think he won a lottery to get one at Fry's, but you had to buy a bundle, that made it $500. I can't remember his story. But for me, the reason I did not buy one at launch, truly, I remember walking into Fry's, okay? And I said, oh, look, they have a Wii set up, okay? And maybe a week or so before the launch, or maybe longer than that, but it was right around launch. And I remember looking at the Wii, and I was looking at the game being played with the Wii Sports, and I was like, what? Let me look at this TV and is my eyes fuzzy? Is my eyes all blurred out? Wait a minute, do I need new glasses?
It's like, wait a minute, we're not really stepping up from the GameCube.
This is 05 or 06, whatever year it came. Was it 06, I think? Everything at that time was HD. The 360 was HD. The PS3 was 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
So by that moment, I was over non-HD graphics, and when I saw the Wii being played for the first time, I said, and I looked at the back, and it was AV going out, and I said, what is wrong with Nintendo? The graphics are blurry. What? I want to like this.
Right.
I want to buy it. But I'm playing 360 with HD graphics, PS3 with 1080p even, and not, even better graphics. I'm not going to take a step back no more, because the Xbox was close with the original Xbox with a component cable, and it made it a notch better than all the other systems, PS2 at the time and Cube, but it was still a little blurry, and I wanted the clarity of Call of Duty 2 on the 360. When I saw that, I said, I'm never going back, right? So I was pissed off again. Just like back when the original Game Boy came out, it had motion blur, and it didn't have to because the Lynx was out, the Lynx was amazing, and here we go again.
Nintendo.
They made the Wii just good enough, right? And why they didn't add, yes, you could put component cable on it and you could make it a notch better, but it still was like the original Xbox, where it's kind of just clear enough, but you're going, man, it's not HD, come on.
Right.
So it made me angry a little bit because I wanted to buy this, I wanted to like this. And essentially what you were getting a GameCube with Bluetooth controller, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much is what you were getting, okay? And the first time I played it, it might not seem foreign now, but this...
Oh, no, I still can't get it into it.
I felt like an astronaut in space going, what? I know we're being a little negative right now, but I'm just giving you my thoughts. This on how I felt at the time. This I could not manipulate this.
I'm not gonna lie, Mike. Even today with the Switch, I cannot play with Joy-Cons because it's the same kind of situation. I
That's
can't do
even
it.
harder. So to me, it's like, say, if you're right-handed and you write with your left, and you say, "Hey, write a sentence with your left hand." That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
And so, but for the first year, I was like, I don't care if I don't like this. I'm not going to buy this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I was ever going to buy it. So a year or so goes by. I don't remember when Galaxy came out. It might have been a year and a half later. I didn't even look at any of the dates before we did this. But when I saw Mario Galaxy, and I tried it out at, I don't remember what I tried it out at. Maybe probably at Game Crazy. That's
Okay.
where I used to go more. I said, "Wow, this game is great." So I said, "You know what? I'm going to buy a Wii. I'm going to put a component cable on it to try to bump up the graphics as best as I can to play this game." So I brought it home, and I was sitting here going with the controller going, God, it was like my hand was going this way. I just couldn't do it. Right? I felt so awkward. So I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to play this game. So what I did is I had a big bottle of Advil. I don't have it right now, but I'm pretending this is a bottle of Advil that I had. And what I did, I rubber banded. No, this is no lie. I rubber banded this together.
You made your own Pro
I
controller.
made my own Pro controller. And whenever you were going around and you had to get these stars, it would shake like that and you could hear the Advil.
Okay, you're already putting rumble into it.
Yeah. So, I would do this, and I finally was playing it. But I had to, do that to it. And I will have to say I loved Mario Galaxy when it came out. And so then I started playing Wii Sports, and then I went back and I bought Smooth Moves and played it some. It was cute. It was fun at the time. But it was a slow go for me. And I think it was a system, it was kind of a slow go for true gamers. And I was at work. I worked for an engineering company at the time. And I remember sitting in there and talking to another coworker that was my age about the Wii, and we was like, And our boss at that time, I guess I was in my 30s when this came out. My boss was in his 60s, and he came over. He says, "Oh, y'all talking about games? Me and my 3-year-old grandson just bought a Wii, and we love it." And I said, "Did you ever play a game?" "I've never played a game before, but we love the Wii." And right then, something snapped in my head. I went, "This system is for people who don't like games."
Yeah.
Because it's for children. At that time, I'm not dogging it right now because I played it at the time. But for me, it was for people who didn't play games, or either a 3 or 4-year-old or somebody, a senior citizen.
Right. No, this was Nintendo tapping into that untapped market.
Right. And there's a much bigger non-gamer market than a gamer market. There's way more people who don't play games than play games, that, especially 15, 20 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, you still kind of didn't talk to people about games. Forget talking to your boss about games.
Oh, no. He would be like, we need to see you in the office.
Yeah, and that's no joke. If they heard, I remember in the late 90s, if they heard you talking about games, it was a little taboo.
Yeah, it was like a sign of immaturity, supposedly.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. But when my boss came up, who was in his 60s, and an engineer, told me that, I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. People loved Wii Sports because as a 3-year-old, you could just sit there and do this.
Mm-hmm.
And box and win, right? Or a 70-year-old.
Yeah, or they're playing bowling.
Or bowling. A quick story about the bowling. On Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. A quick story about, we had just opened, right? This was 13 years ago. The retirement home up here, the head of it came in here, and this lady was like, kind of be shoveled. She was like, "Do you guys have Wii Sports? It is bowling night at our retirement community, and if I don't get Wii Sports there, I'm going to have a riot on my hands, because every Wednesday night we play bowling. You know, everybody gets into it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we have a you saved my life, my job.
The prune juice would have flown.
Yeah, and that just kind of settled. Okay, this system is kind of more for that demographic, you know, the non-gaming gamer. But saying that, I was still buying a game here, buying a game there. And when this one came out, the new Super Mario Brothers Wii, it just like my favorite, yeah, there it goes on the screen there. My favorite game on the DS Lite was the new Mario Brothers, and so this was just kind of a bigger version of that, you know, the console version of that, and you could be multiplayer. And me and my wife got into many arguments because we would knock each other off, and after the second level we could not play together. It was going to be a fight. So that was kind of fun, but I liked that game a lot. But you know what my issue was with it? God, I wish it was clearer.
Yeah.
Man, I wish it was in HD, right? So that was, at the time, that was my issue with it. And then, you know, stuff started coming out like Super Mario All-Stars, and this one just was great, because you could play all the Super Nintendo versions on your Wii.
So it was great because it was a Super Nintendo game.
It was a Super Nintendo game, right? So I was playing things like that. Hey, one other thing. Another great thing that Nintendo did. two things. Okay, you remember on the N64 when they brought the expansion pack out? You had to buy that pack, and it was only really for 2 games.
Right.
A couple more maybe. Oh, they did another one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so they brought out a Wii Motion Plus, so you could play Wii Sports Resort and Skyward Sword there, right? So that's about the only real games you need that for. So, and guess what happened? The week that, this is a funny story, I've said this in other videos. The week that Skyward Sword come out, we had opened the shop already, and I swear at least 10-12 people come in and go, hey, I just put in Skyward Sword in my system and it bricked my modded Wii. And I was like, oh, your Wii was modded and you put Skyward Sword in it? Yeah, because it did an update and it destroyed and it bricked my Wii, and now it's unplayable. Do y'all have a Wii in stock? I go, no, sorry. Because back then when we first opened, or when this game came out, it was still kind of, you know, not many people traded in a Wii. So this game bricked a lot of people's modded Wii.
See, so that tells you what the gamers were doing with the Wii at that point.
Yeah, everybody was modding their Wii. I had even seen somebody do that too. But it, you know, that was kind of, what do you think about that? Do you think that was bad on Nintendo's part? Or
I think it's hilarious because the people who helped Nintendo come up with like the bricking were the same people who came up with the hack to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. You told me that they're the ones who came up with it.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, we can't be part of piracy. Here, Nintendo.
Right.
This is how you can take care of it.
So, boy, you know, this video's turning out. I didn't mean it to be so negative here on the Wii, but it was just my thoughts at the time. So, but now, you know, now the Wii it's a fun family system.
We appreciate the Wii.
We appreciate the Wii now. I do like the Wii. I do play, you know, the Mario Brothers and Galaxy from time to time, or Wii Sports, or Smooth Moves.
Oh, we wouldn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
One of the times that waggle control actually is fun.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about this. I want to do a comparison. I can't prove this, right? I cannot prove this, but in 83, 84, the crash, right?
Right.
Well, the crash happened because Atari was 90% of the market. You know,
right.
Yeah, the Intellivision was there, and the ColecoVision was there, Magnavox IC2 was there, but they were barely anything. No, only one person I ever knew even owned an Intellivision. I didn't know anybody with a Coleco, maybe one person with an Odyssey. So they were just a blip on the radar.
Right,
really,
right.
It was all Atari. And Atari started coming, there was so many in the home, Atari started coming out with shovelware. And that shovelware is really what caused that corporate crash.
Yeah.
It wasn't a crash on my part. I would have to say this. There was so much shovelware on the Wii, like Zoo game, the Zoo brand, UFO with the Monkey King, or Chicken Blasters, or Bold Games, you know, Orbs of Doom. and Call of Duty Modern. No, not that one.
But no,
the reason this one, I'll talk about that in a minute.
But the conspiracy games, all of those, yeah.
So I would have to say this: say the Wii was 90% market share, and the PS3 and the 360 was a blip on the radar, and all this shovelware came out on the Wii. If it was the only system at that time, I think the same thing would have happened.
Oh, for sure.
The market would have crashed at the same time, but there's a 360 and PS3 was holding.
Yeah, that was the difference. They actually had competition.
They had competition. That was the difference. So, but I hadn't seen that much shovelware come out on the system, maybe since the Atari.
Oh, look at that. So you're saying that this is the 2600's protege?
Yes, that's right. It's a 2600 protege. And I guess this game right here kind of cemented where the Wii was, and almost now like where the Switch is. The Wii is a system to play your first-party cartoon graphics, which is fine, which I like and I play all the time. I play the Switch all the time too, but it is my secondary system.
Right.
I only play the first-party. Generally the first-party Nintendo games on my Switch, and it was the same thing on the Wii. It was the same thing on the Cube, same thing on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii U was more powerful though, but what I'm talking about this is the power of this system.
You're saying go ahead. Sorry.
When I played this one, I was like, because this was my favorite game at that time online on the 360, and when I played this one, I thought, what is going on? Who would want to play this on the Wii when you could play it on the 360? It just was 2 generations behind, it felt like.
So I'm thinking that the next Nintendo system that comes out needs to be called the MZM.
Yeah.
The Mario, Zelda, Metroid system. And that's it.
Yeah, and maybe some Kirby.
Maybe some Kirby.
So
shout out to Iwata.
I to me this is shovelware too, on the Wii. But saying that, I like the first party games, and things like Mario Kart. And this actually, you wouldn't think it, but I thought this wheel actually worked.
Yeah.
By sticking your Wiimote in there, and then it kind of felt.
No, it helps.
Good.
It helps for sure.
Stuff like that. And the Wii came out with different colors. You had the red and the blue one, which is this color blue. And then they came out with this little guy who, for really little kids, so you couldn't get them on the internet.
Which you don't have to worry about now because the shop's gone.
Yeah, right. The shop's
so
gone.
Look, thank you, Nintendo, for making your own system relevant.
That's right. Yeah. So hey, this has turned into a bash party. A Wii.
Oh no.
Party. Well, tell me about some of the games that you liked.
I played Mario Baseball, Super Sluggers.
Okay, yeah, I like that one. All right.
That one was okay. There's one game I've got a guilty pleasure of playing on the Wii, and it's a shovelware game, and we don't even have it in our stock right now.
What is it?
It's called Dr. Fizzwizzle's Animal Rescue, and it's basically Breakout meets Katamari Damacy.
You know something? I will have to say this. Just like the Atari shovelware, I bought it, and I like the one-screen games on the Atari sometimes, for $5. And the shovelware you could get for $10 at Target, and actually some of them were okay. They were a fun little, 2-3 hour play.
That was it, yeah.
So I look at that as the same thing.
But when you got stuff like Anubis 2, Ninja Bread Man,
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Adventures, and it's literally the exact same game just reskinned over, and
So, all right, you know what? We're giving a bad perspective. We're getting an adult perspective. Let's get somebody's perspective from a child.
right.
Connor, what did you think about the Wii when it came out?
I thought it was great.
All right, how old were you when the Wii came out?
What year was that? Like
06?
06?
Something like that.
When it came out, I wasn't even 10 yet.
Okay, so you were elementary.
So there you go.
So he was a
Yeah.
kid. Well, let's get it from a kid's perspective.
From the
What do you think
demographics
of it?
review.
So I thought it was super fun. Tons of good games on there.
Now, your parents wouldn't let you have a 360, right?
Not at the beginning, no. I did have a PS2 though. I had before I got a Wii.
Okay, so let's talk about in this generation. You couldn't get a 360, you couldn't get a PS3.
Yeah.
So see, if you were a kid, he was a kid, this is the only system his parents would buy him, probably.
All right, Connor. So what's
Go
up?
All right,
What you
so
got?
I'm about to explain to you why the Wii's the greatest system of all time.
Okay, here we
Not
go.
only do you got GameCube backwards compatibility, but
Oh, we
some
didn't
of
even
them-
talk about
Oh
that.
no, you're right.
That's the only reason I love the Wii. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Plug a GameCube controller right in there, good to go. But some of them got new life breathed into them, like Pikmin 1 and 2. So
Okay.
there's this whole new play control series. Most of them were just like wag the Wii remote to press a button, but these ones actually improved the gameplay. So original Pikmin, you had to like tilt the stick kind of in order to like aim Pikmin around. This one you just point at the screen. It's so much easier. So if you want to play Pikmin on like close to original hardware, I recommend the Wii ones.
Okay.
Then you got even some third-party offerings like Mad World that are super unique.
Whoa, you got to play this as a kid?
I didn't get to play this as a kid. I came back to this one later. But this one's super cool. It's like the entire game's like black and white except for the blood. It's super stylish.
Oh, Sega. That's why.
Yeah, Sega. So you still got good third-party offerings on here. It
See,
wasn't all shovelware.
Sega had to come in and put some blast processing on to the Wii. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Then Mario Party 8's really good. It did have motion controls in it, but I think it used them pretty well, honestly. So
I'm not going to say what he's thinking.
So if you want to play a good Mario Party on Wii, play 8.
Mario Party 8 is fun. I played that.
And Mario Kart Wii, you were touching on this earlier. This one's really good, and all the different ways you can play it too. Like you can play just Wii remote with the wheel, with a nunchuck using the stick.
With your Advil bottle.
You can play it with the Wii Classic. You can even plug a GameCube controller in there and play that.
What?
That's
Forward
how accessible
compatibility.
this is. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So this one's really good,
Okay.
and they're putting a lot of tracks from this in the new Mario Kart game with the DLC.
Okay.
Then my favorite game of all time right here, Xenoblade Chronicles, got started on the Wii. And
What's so great about this game, Connor?
this game pushed the Wii to its absolute limits. Let me show you the back real quick so you can get a good view of that. If you like RPGs, you'll love this game. Even if you don't like RPGs, it's still worth giving this one a try. And you can use the classic controller on that as well.
That's cool.
Although they did port this game to Switch, so if you want to play it on there, then you can.
Okay.
But what's cool about this original one is you see how the
Okay.
sword there has a hole in it?
Uh-huh.
Look what they did with the disc.
Oh, look at them. Look at you guys.
That is the most creative.
Y'all clever.
That is the most creative disc I've ever seen. Yeah, this. I have no idea how they got this working on Wii. It is huge. It is massive.
Connor, you've convinced me. I'm having a great time over here.
Yeah. And for you guys at home, if you still don't believe that the Wii is the greatest system ever, they brought back Donkey Kong Country.
Oh. Oh, mic drop.
That was it, Mike.
Oh.
Okay. I think Connor was right.
You know what? Everybody should go come on
Yeah.
and get a Wii.
Come on down, get away.
Player One Video Games, 101 West Parkwood Avenue, Friendswood, Texas.
It'll be a great time.